Dear viewers and students, in the series of the videos about SSLC Social Science, today I am going to deal with a new chapter and a very important chapter, that is the impact of British rule in India. After the arrival of Britishers and when they started ruling over India, what are the impact, what is their influence upon India, that things we are going to know in this chapter. Here, particularly when they started their rule and in order to consolidate their power in India, what conditions favored them? That is the fractured political landscape. Means our Indian political conditions were fractured one and they were favorable for the establishment of British rule. How? Because in our India there are hundreds of dynasties. There were hundreds of dynasties, and these hundreds of dynasties were struggling among themselves. They are fighting with each other, and when they are fighting with each other, they had enmity upon one another, and it is a very favorable condition for the British in order to establish their power. And this is a favorable for, and the Britishers exploited the situation, in their favor, and for this situation they adopted their important policies. And one of important policy what they adopted was divide and rule policy. They divided the Indians against each other. And they make friendship with one and they also develop enmity with another. Means they took the advantage of the situation when the Indians are fighting each other. It is the one of important one, and by these methods they dominated whole of India. The total India was taken in their control by this situation. And here, for getting the control over India, they adopted various important one is they exploited the situation. Wherever the war is needed, they adopted the war, and wherever the agreements are needed, they entered into agreements. Wherever they needed a pact, they enter into pact. Like this, they, with the help of war, with the help of agreement, with the help of negotiations and pact, they consolidated their power in India. It is about how they dominated. And after the getting control over India, they started their administration. And here in this chapter, we are going to know about what is the impact of the British rule upon various conditions of India. Particularly here, they are responsible for a new structure. In India, a new type of structure they established. What is the first thing here? They develop one nation concept, because already I told you earlier our India was ruled by the hundreds of dynasties, but now the Britishers established a single rule and one nation concept. What earlier it was during Mughals and even in the ancient times, the same things now here one nation concept was developed by the British. And in the new structure they here we have to know about where they influences and they adopted common regulations. Earlier, every native ruler having their own regulation, which is one native regulation is different from another. But here now they adopted common regulations, where they adopted common regulation in the matters of education, and even in the matters of that is taxes, and even agricultural policies, and even the trade policies, trade laws, and even the administrative experiments. They undertook many kind of experiments. What now further we go for knowing about those experiments in the tax system and administrative system, police system, military system. Here they went on making experiments in the administration, and here this is what we are going to know further. Now try to know about what is the different kind of experiments they conducted in the field of administration and civil service. Administration and civil service, because they require a very important civil service in order to control the whole of India, and for that purpose they started their own system of civil servants, and particularly the one of the important person who is referred as a beginner of civil service reforms in our, that is in British India. The name of the person was Lord Cornwallis, and this Lord Cornwallis is considered as very important one. As for civil, that is running the administration, they require various civil servants. How they used to get these civil servants? Earlier, the company used to appoint. Company appointed the civil servants. And while company is adopting the appointing the civil servants, here some of the important persons had very much influence in appointing the civil servants, and they are responsible for adopting corrupt methods. They adopted corrupt methods while appointing the civil servants. They used to take the money, and this kind of corruption became one of a problem in the East India Company. And in order to control these corrupt officers, now what happened? They passed one of important law act, that is called as 1773 Regulating Act. Regulate means control the corrupt officers and to keep them in that is a control. That's why Regulating Act was passed in the 1773, and it was the next. And here after that in 1800, what happened? Here the Fort William College was started. Fort William College. In the Fort William College, here what is the purpose of starting this Fort William College means in order to train the aspirants of civil service, in order to give training to them and making them able to run the administration. Here this Fort William College was started, and later next some of the changes takes place in the British administration in the civil service till 1853. Till 1853, the appointments were made by the directors. Appointments were made by the directors of British Committee, and these directors were responsible for appointing the civil servants. Here next, after 1853 or in 1853, one of the important method was started. Very important, we have to remember here. For the first time in India, the competitive examinations were started. Competitive exams. Here, these competitive exams were started on the basis of the ability and on the basis of the caliber and capacity. Here, the civil servants were appointed, and that system was started in 1853. Then also here, but most of the competitors were British only, because here to the higher positions, to the high post, only Britishers were able to compete, as well as even here there is no chance for Indians to compete here. Only for the higher post the Britishers were appointed, and Indians that is denied of opportunity, and they are never that is considered as able, because one of the important person already told you, that is Cornwallis. Cornwallis had one of a saying about the Indians. What he said: all Hindustanis are corrupt. It is the one of a words of this Cornwallis. All Hindustanis are corrupt, and that's why here they are not able to run the administration. It was the belief of Lord Cornwallis. It is about the impact of British administration on Indian civil service. Okay, after knowing about this concept, let us go to the another impact. One by one we try to know about in various fields how these Britishers were having their influence. Particularly now try to know about the judicial system. What is the impact of Britishers administration or British government on our Indian judicial system? Here in the judicial system, here the Britishers in the beginning they adopted one of a method, that is the method of the Mughals, because when they started their administration in India and the predecessors were the Mughals, for some time they copied their method of administration in the judiciary, and later we here give reference for the dual governance, and even you know about the dual government of Robert Clive. According to that government, the administration is of two types. One is the civil matters and even the judicial matters and collection of the revenue. The civil and judicial matters were given for the Indians, and the collection of revenue was held by the British. It is their beginning, and later a new judicial system was started. New judicial system. In the new judicial system, the very important person what we have to remember here is the Warren Hastings. He is the beginner of a new judicial system in India, that is Warren Hastings, and that was started in the 1792. What is there? Here according to Warren Hastings, he divided the judicial system into two types. One is called as Diwani Adalat and another one is called as Faujdari Adalat. Diwani Adalat and another one is Faujdari Adalat. Here the Diwani Adalat means the civil courts, that is they are called as civil courts presently, and they are called as the Faujdari means criminal courts, civil court and criminal court. And on what basis the justice was given, the cases are decided, that is the dispense of cases, means while deciding a particular case, what is the reference, and here while deciding the case, if that is related to Hindus, and that will be according to Hindu scriptures, the decision will be taken, and if the case is related to Muslim, that is on the basis of Shariat law, and Hindu scriptures are the base for deciding any kind of matter. And later these courts were, that is here for the civil courts, civil courts were taken into the control of European officers, particularly the British officers, and criminal courts were given in the control of Qazis. It is about the judicial system. In the beginning, it is they followed the Mughals. Later, in the dual governance, here that is collection of revenue was with them, and civil and judicial matters were given for the Indians. And a new judicial system was started by Warren Hastings 1792, and two types of courts, Diwani and Faujdari courts, and dispense of the cases on the basis of Hindu scripture and Shariat, and civil courts were in the control of Europeans and particularly the British, and for the criminal courts Qazis were appointed. It is about the judicial system. After knowing about the administrative system and judicial system, the next is impact upon police system. Police system is very important. It is important for the maintenance of law and order, because in the society, if there is a disturbance, in order to maintain law and order, as well as even for example in the present times they are fighting against the COVID-19 coronavirus. Here in order to maintain this law and order, the police system is very important one. And this system in the Britishers, the important person here again we have to remember is the Cornwallis. Cornwallis is responsible for starting a new post of police, that is called as Superintendent of Police post was created by this person. And here in this police system, at every district, there was a station, police station at every district, and this station is in the control of Kotwal. Kotwal is the controller and that is the highest officer at the district, and at every village level, that is a chowkidar. Chowkidar is responsible for maintenance of law and order at the village level. In this manner, here this system was formed. And next important post was created by the Britishers was the post of magistrate. This magistrate is a very highest officer, and this officer given control over the other police officers, and he is considered as one of a very important officer, that is the magistrate post was created. And as the time went on changing, here many new type of law and new type of reforms were brought in the police system, and particularly in 1781. In 1781, police was brought under the control of magistrate, and later next reform is very important one in 1861. 1861, here police law was made. Police law. A separate law was made for organizing the police system in India, that is in 1861. And next in 1902, here the appointment of the police officer were made on the basis of particular qualification. A qualification as well as examinations were conducted for appointing the police officers, and then also these reforms were made in various manner. Here also there was a discrimination against the Indians who never ended. Discrimination with the Indians. Always, as even in the administration also, in the civil service also, there was a discrimination with the Indians, and even in the, that is the police system also, there was a discrimination. The highest post, the superintendent post or the magistrate post and big posts were not given for the Indians, and Indians were just can be a constable. That is here highest posts were not given. It is a kind of discrimination. It is about the police system. Here the importance for maintenance of law and order, and the very important person is Cornwallis, started superintendent of police post, and every district having a station, and that is under the control of Kotwal, and every village under the control of Chowkidar. And in 1781, that is one of the important post was created, magistrate, to control over all. And next year separate law was made for the police in 1861, and in 1902 here qualification is prescribed for appointment of police, as well as then also discrimination was not ended. Here this is about the police system. Let us now go to the another system, that is called as a military system. This military system is a base for the British power. Base. It is a base for power, because with the help of this military they can hold the control over India, as well as even they can hold a control over the native rulers, and even for fighting the wars. Military is very important, and in their military here majority of the people, majority of the military persons were Indians. They used Indians against Indians. Most of the military persons are Indians, but here they can only go up to a post of Subedar, and only even majority of the soldiers were the coolies, and this kind of discrimination was there. And this military they use for protection of their supremacy. Protection of supremacy, they use this military system, as well as here this officer post. Officers were only British, and Indians cannot go to the post of officers, and here Indians can only go up to a particular post of Subedar. And this is a next in one of the important reform what they brought in the military system is in 1850, that is Peel Commission is very important one. Here, with this help of a Peel Commission, they brought many reforms in the police, that is in the military system. It is about the military system and impact upon military system. Okay, after this, here administration and civil servants as well as the judicial system, police system and military system. Next very important concepts here we are going to know about is the tax policies. In the system of collecting taxes, they brought many reforms and many changes they brought in the collecting collection of revenue. They brought many changes, and particularly here we are going to know about the land tax policies. Land tax policies. What type of policies they adopted for collection of that is the revenue. And in the beginning, the first important system here what we have to know about is a permanent zamindari system. Permanent zamindari system. Here zamindari system, which was already in Indian that is system or Indian administration followed by the Mughals. The similar type of system with some of the changes they also implemented in India, and the first time it was also introduced by Lord Cornwallis. Cornwallis is responsible for this system, and here zamindar, the land was given for the zamindars. Zamindar is considered as the owner of the land, and this zamindar is responsible for giving taxes to company. And if this zamindar failed to give taxes, what they used to do, that is his ownership will be cancelled. Ownership will be cancelled. And in order to maintain his ownership, the zamindars used to exploit the farmers. Means here in one side zamindar as well as in the other place company, both used to exploit the farmers. Both used to exploit the farmers. The conditions of the farmers were very miserable, and they were the real sufferers. They are the real sufferers in the hands of zamindars and company. And this system is having many kind of defect. And the real person is suffering here is the farmer. That's why one of the important person by name Metcalfe, he had one of important statement regarding the conditions of the farmers in India. What he says, Indian farmer that is born, live and die in debt. Means the Indian farmer born in debt, means when a child is taking birth in the house, at that time that father has to borrow the money in the form of loan from others in order to bear the expenses. And later that child, when he grow up, he live in the debt, and the same child when he die, he also die in the debt, and while going from the world, he also give the debt to his son. In this manner, this was the condition according to Metcalfe. The Indian farmer